Welcome back to the official review. I'm Johnny, that's Sam, that's Steve, and today we're talking NFL breakout players for fantasy football. So Sam, who do you think is going to break out this season?
My breakout player is Jets running back Braelon Allen. He had a great training camp last season, but didn't really come to fruition over the course of the year. With Aaron Rodgers and a pass-heavy offense, the Jets were last in runs and last in red zone run rate. But now they have a new coach and a new offensive coordinator. That's Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrand. They are coming from the Lions, and I can see them implementing some sort of system that's very similar to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, where Breece Hall operates in some space and Braelon Allen is used for some of those early down, short yardage, and red zone type of situations. So look for Braelon Allen to be much more of a heavier contributor to the Jets this year and getting double-digit touchdowns.
I gotta go with Demario Douglas out of New England. I know he was pretty good last season, but I think the Patriots offense in general is just gonna be better. Drake May, year two. You got Stephon Diggs, who I think will take attention away from the other wide receivers. And most importantly, they brought back Josh McDaniels. When I think of Josh McDaniels, I think of slot receivers, which is where Demario Douglas plays. You got Julian Edelman, Wes Welker. He even did well with Jacoby Myers in Oakland. So I think Demario Douglas is gonna have a great year. Maybe not a Pro Bowler, but I think he's definitely worth taking a reach on in your fantasy draft.
My guy is a big boomer bust play because he only had 5 catches last season. But I'm going to go with Ben Sinnott, the tight end from the Washington Commanders. To me, Sinnott is a guy who's primed to have a great season if he's used. Coming out of the draft, the Commanders used a high draft pick on him, the second-round pick last season, and they didn't use him at all in the 2024 season. He only had 5 catches for 28 yards and a touchdown, and that came without even Daniels in. It was Mariota who threw that touchdown. There have been lots of great signs from Sinnott in college, especially, where he looked like a physical freak as a tight end. A guy who's really hard to take down. He was rated as the 3rd best tight end in the draft last year. And so I think, with more usage and a more complicated offense as Jaden Daniels takes his second year in Cliff Kingsbury offense, this is going to be really good for Sinnott, a guy who can be used more as a gadget tight end. You look at when offenses get more complicated, like in Detroit, and the way they use Sam Laporta as their secret weapon. That could be how Sinnott's used as a tight end in DC. So, after Debo, after McLaurin, who knows what's happening with him, the 3rd option, I think, in 2025 for the Commanders is going to be Sinnott. So look for him in your drafts. He might not be a guy who even gets drafted, but keep an eye on him on the waiver wire or maybe even a late draft pick if you want to be sneaky. So who do you think is going to break out in 2025? Let us know in the comments below.